welcome to No Gimmicks. This is Brady alongside Phil here. We've kind of got this what the fuck going on based on what happened last night at the Elimination Chamber. Man, mind-boggling. JT's out. He's having a good time this weekend, so we going to have a guest, Chris, on with us just over the audio. So without further ado, our friend Chris Roach. Hey Chris, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. Still just reeling from last night and that crazy ending. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's start from the top, man. I know that you were at work, so you didn't get the full picture of the Elimination Chamber, but we did get 4 matches. The first match was the Women's Elimination Chamber, which, in my opinion, was great. I know you said you saw the highlights. So obvious, the winner, Bianca.
Yeah.
That kind of I threw a curveball at me just a little bit. I didn't think that we were going to get a Bianca versus Rhea Ripley WrestleMania match, but super exciting. I mean, 2 powerhouses, dude. That's going to be great.
Yeah, I mean they've had they wrestled back in NXT, and I'm excited just how they're going to go about this kind of because. Bianca's a big star and has been, babyface the whole time on the main roster, and she's doing a great job. But I've always said I was at NXT, I was a huge fan of hers, and her and Rhea had some good matches, and they've pretty clearly been kept apart of the main roster. So I think this will be a banger match, So I'm excited for it. I'm excited at the possibility of whatever it was that's going on with Jade, Naomi, and Bianca there. If maybe that is the tease of a heel turn. Maybe they were behind it for some reason. Who knows? I guess we'll just have to see. But
dude, what did you think about Jade coming up and then targeting Naomi? How does that make you feel? Like, man, that answered all the questions. I mean, unless there's another curveball being thrown, but Jade coming in and immediately attacking Naomi and taking her out of the match.
Yeah, that was. I think there was. They were kind of waiting to see how everything was going to play out with Jade. Triple H kind of talked about it at the presser, like they were having to kind of play it by ear with when she'd actually be ready. So he kind of even admitted this. It kind of drug a little bit at certain parts, but they were having to kind of wait to see when they could actually pull the trigger on that. And I thought it was good. There was an interesting part of that I saw in the highlight where Naomi looked back at Bianca, and so again there's I don't think we got all the answers yet by any means, and so we'll see how that goes. But I like Jade. She's got a lot of stuff that she can do really, really well, and someone like Naomi that's real experienced can definitely help her with that. So I think it'll be exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to see where that goes. So.
Yeah, here's the deal though. Like, even if there's some betrayal happening, like we are not going to get that payoff for at least a little while, because if it's Jade and Naomi, that could be the WrestleMania match, but Bianca's part of this as well in some way.
Yeah.
So
I mean, maybe Jade and Bianca is the longer play. That's no disrespect to Naomi, but that's obviously the bigger match. Jade and Bianca at some point. So maybe they kind of play like it was Naomi, but maybe Bianca knew or something. Again, I'm saying I'm fantasy booking that just because. Again, I'm all about Bianca turn heel. She had so much just attitude in NXT, and you did not get in her way, and I loved it. I was a big fan of hers back then. So she's kind of on that thing. She likes being babyface. She likes being the role model, but I would be all for a heel run, and that's something they can definitely play out, like you said.
100%. Well, and then I think Alexa looked great during the match, man. It doesn't look like she's been gone for 2 years. Honestly, she came back and she rocked. I'm digging the character. I'm really curious of what they're going to do with her in the Wyatt 6, or if she's just going to be a standalone, character.
They've been showing the teases, it seems like. So, I mean, she's kind of dressed the same way she was before with, the dark outfits and everything. She got the Lily doll. I think, she's definitely something that could help elevate the Wyatt Six, because right now they're great at what they do, but they're just not that one big star, and Alexa can help that at least, I think at least somewhat, and go in different directions with that. So I'm excited. You and I are big we're big Alexa fans, obviously, and she can do no wrong in my opinion. So we'll see how all that goes.
No. Yeah, and I mean that's really the story of the women's chamber. There wasn't really too much that went on other than the Jade return and then the Bianca win. So
yeah.
I in my opinion, rolling into that match, I thought it was either going to be Alexa or Liv. I didn't think anything else is possible. So super excited go ahead.
Yeah, I was. I mean, there have been rumors online. I'm very much fall into those, and I try not to get too much into them. But there were rumors. I always thought it could hinge on how they were going to do this Jade story. If I thought if she didn't show up at all, then it likely would be Bianca. I thought maybe if Jade showed up, it would be something where they would spin off with Bianca and Jade, but they've gone a different direction. But yeah, I mean the match looked good, it looked solid. That moment with Bianca and Liv on the top of the pod was awesome. And I'm always good about cool visuals. And man, when Bianca was, after she knocked Liv down and stood up and hands up in the air, whipping her hair, I thought that was an awesome moment. And the crowd was going nuts for it. And props to Liv also. Did you see? There's
that photo
afterwards,
man,
where she's all bruised up.
Yeah, and she's got that big whip mark across her belly. God, she took a beating, dude.
Yeah, props to Liv. She has stepped up so much in the last year. Like, what was it? Was it 22 or 23? Her other run, and you and me talking a lot of times. We weren't quite feeling that at all, and I don't know that a lot of people were, but she has absolutely just stepped up, and she's a mega star. Like she's without doubt a main event mega star now, and she definitely wasn't in her first run.
Hands down, man. Well, yeah. After the women's chamber, we got Trish and Tiffy versus Candice LeRae and Nia Jax. I mean, here's the deal with that. I don't know what they're doing other than Trish being hometown girl, Hall of Famer. I don't know if they're rolling Trish into WrestleMania again this year. Who knows? But they both look great.
I thought maybe I don't think Trish necessarily is going to be in the match or anything, but I think it was just mainly a Canada hometown thing. Now I do think Tiff could definitely benefit from Trish. Maybe Trish does get involved, and that leads to something later. I think they clearly want to push Tiffany as a big baby face because she's just super over, even though she acts heelish most of the time. But I would say that definitely, if she does get past Charlotte and continues on that maybe having Trish go heel again, because Trish clearly seemed to enjoy that, last year when she was doing her year and a half or whatever it was that she was doing all that. So it's interesting to see what'll happen there. So you
said if she gets past Charlotte. That's a big.
If she gets past Charlotte.
That's yeah. I don't know, man. I think that they brought Charlotte back for a reason, and that reason is to hold that championship. So I don't know who. I haven't seen Charlotte return and not have gold ever. So
yeah, that's something you and I have talked about multiple times. How she's either. She comes back and she immediately just half the time just inserts herself in there. This time she won the Rumble, to get it and all that. But yeah, she's always there. And then it seems like when she's not, she takes a break.
Yeah.
But besides all that though, the one constant with her, I'll say that a lot of times how it gets annoying and repetitive sometimes. But she can wrestle, and no doubt Tiff working with her will no doubt help her. I think it just depends if they think Tiff needs to be the superstar and someone they put all their stuff behind right now, or if they, want to kind of carry her along a little slower. Then we'll see how that goes. I kind of see Charlotte taking it though, because it's Charlotte. So we'll see.
Hands down. After that, man, we got the unsanctioned match between KO and Sammy. And we kind of chit chat a little bit last night, man. But they blacked the arena out. They put black over the WWE logos. They made it seem like WWE was absolving all all issues with this match. That way, they could kind of go all out. And dude, they put on a banger match. I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. I do think that they did over spot the tables and the chairs, but all in all, damn good match, fun, just a typical KO and Sammy match. So
yeah, those two are just, they work together so much, and there's certain superstars that are veterans that you can just tell when they trust each other to just go out there and be brutal, pull out spots that they wouldn't do with younger guys or guys you're not familiar with, and those guys clearly trust each other with their very lives, because I mean, some of those ways they do those suplexes and pile drivers and stuff, it's like it makes you cringe, but they know what they trust each other and they know what they're doing, and so man, it's one of those things. I don't think they ever will have a bad match ever.
No,
so.
no. I mean, I hands down agree. But yeah, KO went over, and then we get the men's chamber match, which kind of threw me off guard. I thought we were going to get Cody and The Rock out before the main event, but yeah, we got the men's chamber match, which
talk to me about that, because that's where I missed. I got home. I was at work last night, and Peacock is really crappy about when it's live. You can't you can't start from the beginning while it's live.
Wow, dude,
I know. Rewind, you can only rewind so far. So I just was like, well, it is what it is, and I turned it on, and I turned it on, and it was Cena and Punk going, and 30 seconds later, the Seth curb stomp, and so I missed most of it. But you talked about said it was a good match, and you said the thing I was most interested in was how did Cena look just going in the ring, and apparently you said he looked great. So
man, he looked like he was 15 years younger. I mean, he really put in the work to come back. Cena didn't miss a beat. I don't feel that he was John Cena from last year or even the year before. WrestleMania 39, when he did Austin Theory versus Cena, you actually talked to this.
He didn't seem like he was into it. I think he did like it was what he was known for doing for a while there. In these last few years has been you get the guy, and he goes out there and he tries to rattle him, and he clearly rattled Theory, and I don't think he was impressed by that. So he didn't really seem like he was going out of his way to do Theory any favors and make him look good when it came to Mania. And I mean, at this point, I don't think too many people are really remembering that match at all. And it, with Vince gone, Triple H doesn't seem to have the same vision of Theory. But Theory is young, and I do think he by all means can have a bright future still. But yeah, that Cena just definitely wasn't feeling it in 39, and it showed. So
no, take back even WrestleMania last year when he came out and he went out to help Cody. I don't think that he had the same level of passion last year as he did going into this chamber match, dude. He came in and it felt genuine. It felt like he wanted to be there. I felt that he felt that it was this time or no time.
Yeah.
So he brought it, man. I was super, super excited. No hiccups. I mean, he pulled off all the signature moves multiple times. The beginning of the match was kind of slow. It really was. Mm-hmm. It really picked up when Cena came out. He came out third out of the pod. Okay. He was the third one out. And that's when business really picked up, man. Eliminations started happening, and then when Punk got in the ring, they got Drew, Damian, and, Seth out. And Seth was kind of just out to the side, which bothered me. Like, why the hell did he not leave the chamber? Right? Yeah. So he was kind of out to the side, and you got Cena versus Punk, and dude, I was popping. I was popping hard. I'm like, man, this is 2011 for me. I love this. And then all of a sudden, you've got, Seth curb stomp, fucking CM Punk into the chamber mat. And then 1, 2, 3, heel Cena took over, and, he took advantage of the situation and got the win. So that was
something I noticed that even before, we didn't know what was happening yet, but when the way Cena just completely seemed opportunistic about it, I thought, okay, that's not quite normally the way Cena would handle these things, and him just jumping on it. I thought that that in itself was kind of telling, and it was well done because what happened after that, I'm watching it and texting you at this point, and I'm like, oh, crap, man, all right, here we go. And then you said Cody and Rock next, and I was like, what? They hadn't even been out. And at that point, the rumor, there was a couple of little fantasy bookings of that and, some memes about it. But to me, I remember Triple H saying that the industry landscape will change or something like that, Well, I think for that point, someone like, me and you to read all these things and see all these things online, we saw the writing on the wall. So it wasn't like when it did happen, I wasn't shocked. But just the fact overall that it happened, was great. And so, yeah, I mean...
I'm not going to lie, man. Okay, let's take a step back just a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Cody came out, and, the crowd was like, yes. And then The Rock came out after Cody got the ring. And, they did the If You Smell, and then you got Travis Scott rolling out. I'm like, all right, who's this clown? I didn't remember who this guy was. And then I saw the hardcore title, and I'm like, oh, this is the guy who smoked a joint with Jay coming down. That's that guy. So, yeah, we've got Rock and Travis Scott walking to the ring, and then The Rock says, give me your answer. Yes or no, essentially. Either you join me or it's done. You're over. You're dead, essentially, And so Cody, says, I gave my soul to this ring and to them a long time ago, and then told Rock to go fuck himself. And I'm like, what is going on? Because they didn't mute it, they didn't beep it, they didn't do anything. And then also today, what caught me off guard is I was sitting there watching WWE YouTube, like just the replays, and they didn't even bleep it off of there. I was like, what? Okay. All right, so we've got Cody saying, go fuck yourself to The Rock, which is, the leader.
That was a big, crazy, holy crap moment there, That's the first time in a long time that, full on the mic, there was some F-bombs dropped, in like press conferences and stuff last year with The Rock, and there was a couple of them, those backstage segments where...
But they were bleeping them.
Very clearly, he said it slow enough, like you could tell that it was planned, and they knew when to, hit that mute or whatever it is they do.
Yeah.
And then the times, like, on Mania, he'd cuss out the ref or something, but, that's not into the mic. But so this was like a full-on, like, the crowd in the mic, and that was completely unexpected, but awesome.
Oh, my gosh. So you've got that going on, and then all of a sudden you've got John Cena running in the background, like cheering, Cody on, like embraces him, and then The Rock throws up 2 fingers, okay, and then does the throat.
Yeah.
2 fingers, okay, and then Cena, turned heel.
Cena did what he did.
Kicked him in the nuts, and then they went to start whooping his ass. Okay, but I'm going to pause right there. So, we talked about this a little bit last night, but at Hell in the Cell, The Rock put up the John Cena 3 fingers.
He put up the 3, like, the same way Cena does, yeah, and that's...
And then last night, he put 2 fingers up. So, there is so much speculation here. So much speculation that we've got 2 new members that are fixing to join The Rock and Cena, and then we're going to have a corporate Rock, a New World Order Rock. Who knows what's going on? But we've got 2 new members going to join, and I'm not going to lie, dude. I saw something today on the internet that...
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm fixing to say?
Well, I sort of, but I'm not sure who, but go with what you saw specifically.
I saw online, and this may be just wishful thinking or...
Yeah.
Okay. Stone Cold said if Cody needs help at WrestleMania 41, he will be there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. So
that's actually I saw that also, but I was thinking something different. But yeah, let's talk about this though.
Okay.
With Stone Cold, if Stone Cold shows up, he said pretty plainly that he had stuff going on last year because I'll be honest. You know, it was great seeing the Taker as that last guy to come out, but if it had been the Glass Shatter at 40 last year,
oh my God,
that would have capped it even better. No disrespect to Taker, obviously, but that would have been even bigger.
dude.
And it would have made more sense for Stone Cold to give it to The Rock one more time. But Stone Cold said he was on the other side of the country and had stuff going on. Couldn't make it. Lincoln maybe wanted to get paid more, but we'll see. I don't know.
Lincoln Field had no roof. And the roof would have blown off that place. Let's just.
Yeah. So that's got me thinking. What that could lead to if it did Stone Cold. Is it just something at Mania? But then again, I'm also like, I gotta be honest. In my mind, the time is now. It's number 17. I'm full on. I'm expecting it. I'm gonna cheer my ass off if it does. Heel or not, it's Cena deserves it, and it'll be crazy big, for that to happen. But if Stone Cold's there, that kind of almost doesn't even make sense unless he's gonna turn 2. But I can't see that happening.
I can't see that happening either. However, tell me, who is going to be 1 or 2 that join The Rock? That's a big enough name that is going to really elevate this. Who is it going to be? Because god damn, if you say Roman, I'm gonna get back to this because we were texting again last night, and while all this was happening, all I could think of, where in the fuck is Roman Reigns? Where's Roman Reigns to come and stop this bullshit? And you know what? Part-time fucking Roman sitting on the goddamn couch.
Hey. There's no need for that. Your tribal chief will be there when he's needed. He's got other business to take care of with Seth Rollins, probably. And I think that's the reason why he didn't show up, because I think, there's been some speculation on that. You were saying Roman gets involved, or maybe there was going to be there's rumors of a triple threat for the main event, but I think they're going to go back to what they teased at Rumble and what's been rumored, that it's going to be Roman, Seth, and Punk at Mania. I think that's the way to go, and Roman can always get in there later if he needs to or something. But what I was thinking, because if the rumor, and this is probably just people read too much into it, 3, then 2, and then 1. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But I would think that a third member that would just not be there. I mean, not that he would pop it even more, because you got Rock and Cena. There's no one else that's going to be bigger than them to add to it. But someone that would make sense, and he absolutely deserves the spotlight. Is like Drew McIntyre.
Oh, come on.
Dude, okay.
Bro.
Him and Rock are clearly buds in real life, so I think Rock would love to, do him that favor of getting him in there. And it would make sense, Drew getting the rub off of Cena, and Cena's only got this year, so maybe longer term, Drew becomes a corporate champion. And don't say that he can't pull it off. That he's been on fire this last year.
No.
I know you were. And I have to mention, Brady, you were repping Drew pretty hard at a few weeks back. Drew side plays. You had a Drew shirt.
Okay, I'm gonna put this little sentence right here. Period on what Chris is saying. I lost a bet last year at WrestleMania, and I had to fulfill that bet at Monday Night Raw when they finally came back to Dallas. And by God, did I fulfill it or not?
Yes, you did.
Okay,
you
now
got the Drew McIntyre shirt that you bought because of the bet, and then my side place that you had to put on your title. Because you bet against Drew at SummerSlam is the reason why.
Okay, and you know
CM
what?
I know CM Punk went over in the feud overall, but Drew won the match that we bet on.
You know who let me down in this bet? You know who let me down?
Who's that?
It's Becky. Becky let me down. And you know who else still is letting me down? Becky, because she has not shown back up. What is going on? But we're not going to get down that rabbit hole. I do want to know, okay, you said Drew, but speculation, who's number 2?
Well, no, the way I see it is, it's Rock 3, John 2, and Drew 1. I don't think there needs to be anyone else necessarily. Because right now, it will make sense right now. The Undisputed Championship is officially on SmackDown. Drew's on SmackDown now, so Cena can show up wherever he wants, obviously, and I'm sure he will. In between, I'm sure they'll be on Raw. They want those Netflix numbers too. So, but to me, it makes sense. And Drew could be someone that, takes over in that feud when Cena is not there anymore. Or heck, I was thinking about it earlier. Okay, so Cena's healing it up right now. I don't see them finishing out this year with him going off being a heel still. They're going to send him off, babyface, and maybe a Drew turning on Cena. I think that's a way to make it happen. So we'll see how that goes. But that's my look, down the line prediction, and I think it will be awesome as far as a long term thing. Drew has done nothing but step up for WWE over the last year and a half. No doubt. And I think they see big things in him. They re-signed him to a big contract. Rock supposedly was directly involved in talking to him about it and stuff. So that's where I see it going. And I think it could be, some good TV because whatever they're going to give Drew, he's going to step up and make it work and make it entertaining and awesome, in my opinion. So
no, I agree. I do. Let's say Cena does win the 17th championship at WrestleMania. Okay?
Yep.
Let's say that happens. All right. Cody takes a well-deserved break. He honestly has been going for 3 years solid. I mean, honestly, he definitely deserves it. He's been injured, yes, I get it. He's been gone for 6 months, 8 months, whatever it was when he tore his pec. But at the end of the day, he deserves time. If he drops the championship at Mania to spend time with his kiddo, his wife, off TV.
Yeah.
So where does that lead? And we kind of talked about this. Where does that lead Cena? Well, here's my opinion. You want to hear it?
Yeah, go for it.
We talked about this a little bit last night. I think that this would be the perfect opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
To have a build between Cena and Punk that leads into Money in the Bank. Okay? Money in the Bank
I'd be down with that.
is where one of the biggest matches of 2011 happened. By far the biggest feud of 2011 and the biggest match. You had Cena versus Punk. And if Punk won, Cena was going to get fired. Punk was also leaving the WWE. So he took the championship and ran. So would it not be poetic just to have John Cena versus Punk at Money in the Bank this year? Wouldn't that just be cool for the title? And then Punk win that title? And then that would set up John Cena to finish out his career as a babyface. He got the 17th championship, so him and Punk no longer need to feud. But that would then finally set up a Cody versus Punk feud for SummerSlam or even Survivor Series, depending on how long they want to keep the title on Punk. But oh my God, if that happened, we could relive. I know you weren't watching in 2011, but we could relive that whole story. And dude, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever it was Punk and Cena in the Chamber last night, fuck Seth Rollins for screwing it all up for me. It was giving me goosebumps, man. Just the nostalgia.
Actually, Brady, you and I, we first started working on it. What was it, like 2012 or
2013,
right?
13.
Okay, so that's when I really got super back into wrestling. But to be honest, I had the CM Punk stuff actually was. It was one of those things where for a few years when I, back then when I was in my, late 20s, early 30s, I was definitely not watching wrestling as much. I was just having fun partying instead, living my life. But I would still, look up headlines and stuff from time to time. And I started hearing a lot about Punk back in those days. And when all that stuff started happening with the Punk, is he leaving? He's the champ. Is he going to leave? All that stuff. That got me really interested. I saw him crashing it was like a Comic-Con or something after he was supposedly gone.
Yeah.
And which at that point, anybody that follows stuff, that he's not doing that, if he was actually gone. But still, it was that definitely got me interested again. And I definitely paid a lot of attention to that. And that's where when, I just every once in a while kind of check in. What got me back in full on was, after a while, all the Daniel Bryan stuff is what really got me interested full on, and the build to all that with, the whole year before WrestleMania 30 just really got me hooked again, and then having someone to talk to about it when you and I became friends. I don't know if you and I hadn't become friends, like I don't know that I would have been as much into it because I wouldn't have had anyone to talk to it about. So that's why I'm always glad that you and I met and then all that happened to get me hooked back in. But in a way that a lot of that punk stuff happening and the Rock and Cena coming back during that time was what got me hooked again. So I definitely paid attention, but I wasn't ordering the pay-per-views or anything back then. So that being said, my thing about your prediction, one thing I'm looking at is how do they get there if it's Money in the Bank? Because Punk's on Raw, he's a Raw superstar, and the Undisputed is on SmackDown. So how does that happen? And it makes me a little wondering if that's the way it's going to go, but. I wouldn't hate the idea of Punk winning Money in the Bank again. That would make him, a 3-time winner? Is that right?
I think so. Yeah. He's got the briefcase twice.
I think that is without a doubt a very good way to get to Punk Cena. To me, seems a little more realistic unless they just I don't see them just flat out having Punk go over to SmackDown for no reason because he is signed to Raw. But him winning the Money in the Bank, and I think at some point him and Punk and Cena need to go at it again. And, maybe Punk wins the belt. I don't know. We'll see on that. But,
I mean, dude, they could even have a title match at Money in the Bank where Cena retains and then, the static hits and he runs out and cashes in on him that night. I mean, that would be another way to...
See.
I mean, it doesn't...
Who knows, man?
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll have to just see how things play out. I think there's definitely some, I wouldn't... if Cena won again, if Cena wins 17, There's definitely some people you can work with. Maybe they revisit an Orton match or something. I don't know. There's a lot of things they could do.
Oh my gosh, dude! While we were talking about that during the KO and Sammy match, I forgot to even mention because I was so hyped to get to the Cody versus Rock that Orton returned.
Yep.
Dude. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and that just opened up a whole new book of possibilities for what could happen at WrestleMania. So I'm super excited to see what he has to say tomorrow. I'm pretty certain Randy's on Raw. So I'm super excited to see.
That's another thing. See how they can always if they want to just do whatever they want to do, they can always kind of just move people around or something, But we just got to see how that plays out. But it just depends on how much are they trying to just get Cena with as many different people as possible, or what they're trying to do, So obviously we just gotta wait and see. But there's a lot of exciting possibilities.
I'm hoping since yesterday happened that, and I did read something on the internet that was a little discouraging, but I'm hoping that Cena's back now. I mean, apparently he's got to work 30 some odd dates before the end of the year, dude. We're in March. So, I don't know how that's going to work, but I did read something that he immediately had to fly to Africa or somewhere to finish a movie. And I'm like, oh my God, really? Again? So,
and here's the thing. It's 7 weeks now for Mania.
Yes.
There's time, they can, he can do... he can do a satellite promo or something. Maybe he plays it up and he does a satellite promo. Hey, I'm on the movie set, thank you, Dwayne, for this opportunity, blah, blah, blah. If you're going to play it up, they got time, I don't anticipate there to be, full-on brawls between them and all the stuff, in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I think they'll burn it slow because they got 7 weeks to do it. So, we'll see what happens there, but I'm not too discouraged by him doing that. I think that he probably did have some stuff at the beginning, but we'll just have to see how it goes. But there's plenty of time, so I'm not overly worried about that. And I think by the end of the year, he will commit more. And I think it would make more sense if he does. If at some point, say maybe by SummerSlam, maybe something happens and he goes babyface again. If he gets screwed over, like I said, by someone like Drew or something, I think if he does kind of go back to babyface, for the last few months of it. That's when we'll see him, putting on more of those dates and stuff, and he'll be wanting. I'm pretty sure he probably wants to go out there and get a few up and comers, some exposure, and some nostalgia matches like Orton and Punk. I think those need to happen. I'd love to see. I almost started to mention this as far as a possible Cena program, but then I remembered I'm pretty sure AJ Styles is on Raw also, isn't he? Or am I wrong about that? Is he on SmackDown?
No, he's on Raw.
Okay. So yeah, if that's correct, then I don't care how it happens, but I do want to see another televised Cena and AJ match because oh my God, those guys tore it up in 2015 and 2016, I believe it was. They were, which it's AJ, so no surprise there. But Cena absolutely stepped up, and you got guys like AJ that can put anyone on a good match, and Cena's the person that can put on a good match, but I don't think he necessarily brings more out of people, but the two of them together will just lift each. If they get the chance, they put on another banger without a doubt, and I hope to see that. So.
Yeah, man, the road isn't full of possibilities, and I'm because of last night, I'm more excited to watch wrestling than I have been in 6 months. And that's
it's been a little rough,
I needed that, and I think now that fire has been lit, we've got, I think, 50 days until WrestleMania, so I'm going to definitely be more active in watching and on the internet. Like last year, man, when we were talking about this last night, once The Rock came in there and turned that heat up, I was chomping at the bit every week, twice a week, ready for Raw, ready for SmackDown. I wanted to see what was going to happen. And then
it was great, man. It was one of the funnest times. To be honest, I would say it's probably like the build to Mania last year. To me, it was one of the funnest times. All the way up and since the Bloodline stuff had really been hot. I think when you had the five of them with Sammy and the Usos and even Solo, and they were all just united. That story of Sammy becoming a full-on member and betraying KO and all that stuff was just, to me, that was great. And for a while there, it kind of lost it really through most of, I guess it'd be like 23.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit predictable that we all saw the writing on the wall that it was going to be probably Cody again at Mania, so they were just biding their time until then.
Yeah.
But once it kicked, like I said, it kicked in at Mania last year, and it's done it again this year so far, or on the main event scene at least. I think the mid card needs to pick up a little bit. We kind of mentioned that last night. I think all four of the mid card titles are kind of, they could be doing more. I think with all of them on men and women's side. So.
Oh no, yeah, hands down they could, but they also got to have that right person there to elevate that title. So there's something JT,
which made me think also other thing, like again, fantasy booking Cena down the line. If he goes back babyface, I think the perfect opportunity for him to have a really strong babyface run and work with a lot of people would be if he wins the IC title and gets that Grand Slam championship.
Yeah. And
which will piss Sheamus off, but Sheamus ain't Cena, so it's okay. But if he won the IC title and he get the chance to work with your Braun Breaker and Ludwig Kaiser and some of those up and comers like that, and then put on some nostalgia matches with it. I think there's a lot of fun to be had there. So we'll see on that. Hey, maybe even Cena puts over Sheamus to win it. We'll see. But
I was honestly just thinking that. But getting that right person on the card for that title is really the way that they are gonna elevate those belts. But other than that, man, super exciting show last night. It just really, like I said, it lit the fire for me, and I'm sure for everyone. I'm glad that I feel that the Logan Punk was smashed last night when Punk pinned him.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm so glad that
I didn't see that going anywhere. I'm definitely curious what some of these guys. I think they put the seeds. They planted the seeds for Drew and Damian, which has been a rumor, and was kind of met with some criticism. Understandably so, because not that they won't put on a good match, but it's also like it's not like the most exciting match ever. But at the same time, I don't know what else they're gonna do. So
I don't know
if that's the match. That's cool. I still kind of like my Drew idea of joining up with them. Cena and Rock, and we'll see how that goes. But I don't know what they're going to do with Logan Paul Mania. I predicted and told you a while back, maybe Penta, just simply because it'll be a big spotlight for Penta. And, hey, they'll put on a bigger match, no doubt. So I think they see Penta as someone they want to put a big spotlight on. And so, to me, that seems like it's something they could do for Mania. We'll see, though. They maybe he gets involved in the IC thing. I can see, like, a multi-man, IC match going into Mania. Maybe a ladder match or something, I feel they need to do something with Braun. Like, I think he's the right guy to be the IC, but I don't think they're doing enough with him, because it's like he shows up in the audience occasionally, then he does a quick run-in, or, but I don't know. I feel they could be doing a little bit more, but if you get, like, 3 or 4 guys circling around him for a big ladder match, I think that'd be a hell of a lot of fun. So,
well, I don't know if you've noticed the Easter eggs around Finn Balor that they've been dropping on Monday Night Raw.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm very, very curious to see what they do with Finn. I'm excited for his story, and I'm ready for him to break free from the Judgment Day. And
what do you think that? This is another one I sent you. That I remember a text I sent you, a week or 2 ago, whatever it was. A little fantasy, what I think is possible.
Uh-huh.
And I predicted, Finn versus Dom.
Yeah. But
to me, that makes sense. I would have thought several months ago. I would have thought I was without a doubt thinking, okay, it's going to be Ray versus Dom, and for the at Mania, and Ray puts Dom over finally in a retirement match.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to be teasing that at all. So not that they couldn't just throw that together at any moment. Realistically, if they don't go with Finn versus Dom, all they got to do is have a backstage thing with Ray and Dom again, and
that's it. Yeah.
That very quick. They realistically, they just need 2-3 weeks of build up to make that match memorable. And then Dom says, all it's got to be is like Dom says, I'm going to retire you. And there's a stipulation. And whether it happens to Mania or not, I will just be beyond shocked if Ray's final match is not putting his son over. I can't see how he wouldn't want to go out that way. Like, it would be big for Dom, and Ray's tradition. Been in the business a long time, so guys like that usually respect the tradition of putting someone over on your way out. And how could he not want to, in real life, not storyline of it all, real life, how could Ray not want to put Dom over on his way out? Whether that's Mania this year or next year or SummerSlam in between or whenever he does decide to hang it up, I'm going to be just beyond shocked if that's not how Ray retires.
No, yeah, I'm 100% with you. But that could happen anywhere. That could happen at SummerSlam.
Yeah, they can do it anytime. I think it needs to be a Big Four moment for sure. Whether it's I would say SummerSlam, Survivor Series, or next year's Mania. It's got to be one of those Big Four moments for someone like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be doing it on a Bad Blood or something. It's just that he's too big of a superstar not to be a Big Four moment. So, but if that's not the match this year, Finn versus Dom, I think would be good, and I'll be even more pissed than I was at SummerSlam against Rollins if Finn loses that one. But
oh my god, no!
We'll see.
The Easter eggs they're dropping, man, it could be
the Demon.
It could be the Demon versus Dom. I'm gonna knock on wood here because the last time the Demon was out, it was against Roman, and Finn fucking lost. Like, the Demon's never lost until he.
It's Roman.
I don't even want to hear it.
It's your tribal chief.
I can't hear it. Yeah. At the end of the day, that you're going to agree that the ending of that match was fucking dumb. It was.
I think they put themselves into a corner. This is a problem with characters like that.
Yeah.
They can't. They can't be unbeatable forever.
Yeah.
So when they bring the Demon out, every few months, and actually now that you say that, didn't Finn do the Demon with Edge and he still lost? So that was his last Demon, right?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Speaking of which, pissed me off again. Fucking Finch. I know he's not the level of Punk or Rollins or Roman or any of them, but he is a superstar, and he has without a doubt deserved better over the last couple of years for his biggest feuds being Rollins and Edge, and he didn't go over him in either one of them, and he should have.
Okay, well, let's talk.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
Let's talk about this: Demon Balor versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania 35. Dude, he smashed him, like straight up, and like it was Bobby Lashley. Like,
yeah, and that's the point, and that's where I was getting. I got off track there, but like they put themselves in a corner with these characters like the Demon. He's supposed to be this unbeatable guy. Well, it lost that, and then even when they do keep up with it, it's hard to make that interesting in the matches. You know, that was the problem to me with the Fiend. A lot of people say that the Fiend is their favorite part of Bray Wyatt. You know, but it was my least favorite realistically because it was the matches. You know, if the character was supposed to be this unbeatable thing, there was that debacle with Rollins, you know, in the red cage and all that.
No,
but then like other times, then you get Goldberg.
That's what I was like. That's where it ended. That's where the Fiend ended right there. Is whenever he dropped it to Goldberg in 5 minutes. Like,
yeah, and so that's why the Demon to me has kind of lost its luster, but not that they can't bring it back, you know. But it's got to be something special, and it's got to be, you know. I mean, if they're gonna keep doing it, he's got to go on a run with it and not lose because Edge and Roman took away that luster for sure. So
if you put Dom and Balor, Demon Finn Balor at WrestleMania, Balor better squash Dom. I mean, straight up.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't. I mean, if it's regular Finn, you know, you can have some, you know, fuckery with Carlito or something. And I wouldn't like it, but if it's Demon, there's no way that he doesn't go over on that. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited for the possibility that Dom is without a doubt like absolutely stepped up with you know what he was started off with, and you know stepping out of Ray's shadow. He's really, you know, one of the most hated heels in all of the business for a couple years running now, and he's run with it and made it work. You know. I'm excited. I'm excited for Dom at some point to kind of get beyond just being the joke of the heel and get more serious. But he's young and there's plenty of time for that. So, but for right now, the Demon better smash him if that's the match. So.
No. Oh man. Well, hey man, we've been talking for quite a while. I really appreciate it. I had a great time, and definitely want to bring you back on more and more because this was a fun conversation. I think that
I love getting on here. It's too bad, you know, JT can't be here. If there's ever times where he is, you know, unavailable for a weekend or whatever, by all means, you know, hit me up and you know, we'll keep doing this. And even if he is there, you know, when the three of us get together, as long as there's not too much alcohol involved, it's always, you know, fun times. And you know, because basically what's happening here with you and me is pretty much how it goes with you, me, and JT. We just sit here and shoot the shit and fantasy book and, you know, talk about all the old times, you know, and it's always a good time. So doing this, you know, on a regular basis is fun, and definitely hope to, you know, be back for more. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Well, again, appreciate you coming, and we'll catch you down the road, man.
Actually, did you have a top rope, off top rope or whatever the heck? Anything you wanted?
Oh my gosh, off the top rope. No.
Beforehand.
If you have something, then fire it off. I would love to hear what your off the top rope question could be.
Okay, I'm just gonna give you. Let me say what in if you had one. Oh gosh, what's one match that should have happened that never did that you wish you could have seen?
Oh my gosh, one match that could have happened. That's hard, man. That is so hard.
One or two or something, but yeah, just something.
Do you have something in mind?
I have something that I wish would have happened. It would have had to happen only if the person would have been able to fully prepare for it.
Okay.
But the rumor was, I remember for a while, the rumors of what they wanted to happen for WrestleMania 30 was just looking like crazy. I think it was WrestleMania 30. I may be remembering it wrong.
Oh my god!
At some points there was a rumor of a Punk versus Austin match.
Oh, dude, that was on top of my mind.
If Austin had been able, as long as he'd been able to fully prepare, and I think Austin knows that if he couldn't have done fully prepared, he wasn't gonna do it. But at that time, Punk was red hot. So that to me, I believe it was 30 when the rumors, several months before 30 when the rumors were happening, and that would have just been a really fun thing to see. So Punk at that time was on fire, and Austin would have absolutely been able to bring it, had he been able to, prepare and make that. I'm sure it would have been a damn good match.
How do you top that? How would you expect me to top that, bro?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, hands down, that would be my fantasy match would be Punk versus Austin. My two absolute favorites in the world going at it. And, they've gotten like the backstage cameos, that kind of stuff. But could you imagine them in the ring together?
Either that, and I was thinking you were going to say this. I thought you were maybe going to say this, but either that or, again, a rumor that almost, was being discussed but never did, or could have happened like 15 years ago, but Brock versus Austin also.
That was...
either Brock's initial run would have been good, but it also would have been fun. Again, only if Austin could have prepared properly, a few years back. That would have been a fun time too. So,
well, not to segue, but that match was actually supposed to happen on a Monday Night Raw. You know that.
That was Steve taking his ball.
I know.
That's a crazy moment. So,
that would have happened.
Built that up properly in what was it, 2003, 2004, whatever, or 2003, I think. But that would have been great if they had probably built it up. Yeah, I agree that a Monday Night Raw King of Ring Elimination was not the place to do it.
No,
but it's too bad, but it is what it is. So
God, okay, well, you caught me off guard with that, bro, and
I did.
I think that you nailed it. I think if that's your top off the top rope. Imaginary booking would have been Punk versus Austin. Dude, I don't know how I can top that. That's hands down.
That really could have been something awesome back at WrestleMania 30 time frame. If that would have been fun. That would have been great. So. Well,
I think also that was when Punk left right after that Royal Rumble, right before 30. So then Austin actually had that. He came out in the ring with Rock and Hogan, so Austin was there. So not that he would have been in ring shape by any means, but that would have given him a little bit of time to prepare if Punk wouldn't have, taken his ball and went home. So but
speaking of that,
but cool. Well, hey man, do you have any other things that you want to pop in and say or have any comments?
No, man. Just hope we can, come on. I can come on here again, and I want to tell everyone that gets to watch this, how much of a fan of your Tribal Chief you are. So we'll save all those for later. I got plenty of good moments for that. Anyone that hasn't figured it out, I'm a huge Roman fan. The Bloodline stuff, while at times a drug, has been some of the most fun things in all of my life of watching wrestling. It was just so much fun. In the heyday of, the Sami Zayn honorary use era of it all. So always love seeing Roman, and Brady, you love your Tribal Chief too. So
like I said earlier today when we were talking, the only thing I can say was, where the fuck was Roman? This is the first time I have ever said that. Where the fuck was Roman? And it's been, dude.
Yeah, it would have been something, but I think it's pretty clear they're going in a different direction, and they can always, they can slot Roman in there with Rock later on. I think there's more story to be told with Roman and Rock, and obviously with Rock, it's literally just about what he's available and wants to do. Maybe, I think he knows better than to come in with, 2 weeks of actual physical training without movies going on.
Yeah.
He knows better than that. The rumor was he had a good solid 2 months of time to prepare, for last year.
Yeah.
So, he knows he can go in there and throw a rock bottom or people's elbow whenever he wants, but, beat the shit out of someone with a strap or whatever,
But a full-blown match, no way.
But a full-blown match, he knows, I don't think he'll do it if he can't commit, and I'd be interested. To me, the only 2 matches that are even worth it, other than maybe if it's a tag match scenario for him that he wants to warm up on or something. But the only 2 big matches for him, to me, are either Cody or Roman at this point. And it's the seeds are there for Cody already, and they can throw Roman in there and make it big business anytime. So we'll see how that goes. it's always going to depend on his availability, and if he's got a movie scheduled, he's going to, get paid $50 million for. He's going to put that priority first every time. We just got to wait and see. So
hands down, for a guy who's worth $800 million, of course he's going to take the $50 million movie.
Yeah.
But well, cool, man. Hey, again, I'm Brady. This was Chris, kind of filling in for JT for the weekend, and as always, I'm on video. Chris is over the phone. We got our man's Phil over here. And, find us on
Phil waiting on that WrestleMania main
event.
Phil is lucky that, there's a possibility that, Roman may elevate him to that main event at Mania if a triple threat happens. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, find us on Instagram, find us on X and TikTok. We do have a Facebook page as well at No Gimmicks. And, yeah, man, we'll catch y'all down the road. So, if you have anything, like I said, shout us out. See ya.
All right, man. Had a blast. Thanks.
Yep. See ya, man.